What's up guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Jake. Welcome to the JD Cars Automotive YouTube channel. Please be sure to go check us out at jd-cars.com. Follow us on Instagram at jd.cars, and please be sure to subscribe for more content. So today on JD Cars, we're going to be covering the 9.5 squared wheel setup on my BMW F30 here. So about a year ago now, I installed a set of 9.5 squared wheels and tires on the BMW F30 here. They're not on the car right now. This is my winter set. They're 8.5 wide, I believe, so not nearly as tight of a wheel and tire setup. But through running 9.5 squared wheels on this car, I've definitely learned a lot throughout my past year, or I guess my past summer season of running the wheels. And today we're going to be reinstalling that set, and I'd like to reiterate and re-illustrate a couple points to you guys about running that aggressive wheel setup up in the front, because it definitely has some risks associated with running those really wide wheels and tires. So let's get this thing in the garage up on the lift, and I'll better explain to you guys the 9.5 squared wheel setup. Okay, not terribly important to the concept of this video whatsoever, but I'm running 19-inch 5 Series wheels actually from a G chassis 5 Series. I actually have some custom adapters here that adjust the bolt pattern because the bolt pattern is different. So I'm gonna pull off these wheels and these wheel adapters slash spacer things. We'll get all 4 corners off, and then I'll join you guys over at the passenger front wheel over here, which is where I actually ran into problems and learned a bit about this wheel setup as well as the suspension setup. My workout for the day, bringing these puppies down from upstairs. Very dusty, as you can see here, but we'll get them cleaned off and looking good, suited enough here. And I'm super hyped to get back on these Michelin PS4s. Oh my gosh, I love those tires. I'm gonna get these things put upstairs really quick while I'm breaking my back, and we'll get working on installing these on the car, and I'll explain to you what the suspension setup is up front here and how to accommodate 9.5 squared wheels. All right, so I just used my digital tire gauge here, and I found that these 2 wheels on the end here are about 4.7 mil, and then these 2 are about 6.6 mil. So I'm gonna put these 2 in the rear. They have more tread. Tires with more tread should always be installed in the rear axle, and then the 2 with a little bit less tread are going to go in the front here. All right, I have all my tires inflated and positioned on each corner of the car that I want them to go on, and it's finally time to explain what the deal is here in the front, installing 9.5 wide wheels on a BMW F30. Background: this is essentially a stock BMW F30 for the next couple weeks until I really get into it, but it's a stock BMW F30 with a carbon hood and a BMW F80 body kit. We have the stock suspension, which is the M adaptive suspension on this car, which means I have that button that does Eco Pro, Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus. It does make a noticeable change in the suspension characteristics, mainly in the front here. And as you can see, it's going to be difficult for me to show you, but where the label is, it's actually punched in right here, about the width of my 3 fingers. It's punched in. I'm not sure if that's from the application of this sticker or if it's for the placement of the sticker or what, but there is a recessed part of the strut. It goes in right here and then bounces back out. So you can see right here where my wheel was rubbing on the strut. And for those of you who don't know, I hit a massive pothole in the city with my car, and it was making this terrible grinding noise coming from the front suspension here. You can feel it all the way up through the steering wheel. It was not good. I had to put the car on a flatbed and bring it home, and it wasn't until I was rolling my fenders, be sure to go check out that episode, I believe that was a few weeks ago, but anyways, when I was rolling my fenders, I noticed that this strut was actually rotated probably about 30 degrees backwards, so that this flat spot wasn't facing the wheel. It was facing towards the back of the car more, and that caused it to rub right here. So I loosened up my strut collar down below. I rotated the strut so it was flat facing the wheel, and sure enough, my wheel now fits on here without rubbing. So I'll show you when I get the wheel on here, but it's a very close fit. So if anything gets thrown off in the suspension, like when you hit a pothole, for instance, it can cause rubbing. So you do have to be very careful about driving with this car on rough roads. So without any further ado, I'm gonna throw all 4 wheels on, and then we'll take a look at how close the suspension is up in the front. Alright folks, all 4 wheels installed, including this front one where I previously ran into suspension issues, but as you can see, no longer any rubbing up there. Grab a creeper. Said a creeper, come on man. Alright, turn on our light, rear of the car. Really no major issues back here. You could go a lot wider. You know, you got at least an inch between here and the subframe and whatnot. And there's plenty of room between the wheel and the strut, as you can see. Not the case up front though. Up front here, might need to turn up the brightness. You can see we're very, very close to the strut. We've got, I don't know, a matter of millimeters in between the inside lip of the wheel and the strut. I don't know, there's maybe 3, 4, 5 millimeters max. It's probably like 2 or 3 millimeters to be honest. But as you can see, that's not really a problem because the wheel and the strut, they move together. So it's not really an issue. As long as your strut doesn't rotate and that flat spot doesn't come out of place, which it shouldn't. There's a nub on the back of the strut here that should keep the strut in position. I may have snapped that off when I hit the pothole. We'll find out with time here, but it's really not that bad. Same deal over on the other side here. It looks like we might have a little bit more clearance on this side. So I think when I rotated this strut out of position, I may have also ever so slightly bent it, but as you can see, rotating it back has allowed it to rotate freely. So this is the most, difficult part about getting 9.5 squared wheels to fit up front. Luckily, there was a guy with an F31, really sweet red F31 station wagon, who did a similar setup to me. I believe I actually did the same exact setup as him. These are 19 by 9.5 wheels, of course, and then I have 255/35 R19 tires on here, and as you guys can see, it works out very nicely. Alright, got this thing coming down. I'm gonna get this thing back on the ground and go for a rip because I have missed these Michelin PS4 tires. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love them, and I've loved that look. Oh my gosh, love these VMR V801s. Really, really excited to announce that we have another set of ISC N1 coilovers coming in today. So I'm probably gonna get prepared to do that install today and tomorrow. Gonna tackle that over the weekend probably. And this puppy will be slammed down on coilovers. We're gonna have to reassess our fitment potentially. Might need a little bit wider spacing, but I don't know, maybe not. We'll see once the wheels are tucked up. Gonna get rid of this monster truck status up front, drop her down, and yeah, I'm rambling on with way more information than I need to be. But yeah, a lot of people have asked me about my wheel and tire setup. A lot of you have DM'd me on Instagram asking for all the exact specs. And that reminds me, I forgot to mention, these 19 by 9.5 wheels are ET35 offset. So ET35 offset, that's the key to getting these 19 by 9.5 wheels to fit. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope this answered a lot of your questions on running 9.5 squared wheels on BMW F30 or a similar vehicle. Please go smash that like button down below. Leave any comments or suggestions for future videos down in the comments below. Please be sure to subscribe for more BMW content, and I'll see you guys next time on JD Cars.